I just think it's really important that everybody, everywhere, understand you have to treat everything, right? It's not just a class on a bike or a pill from a bottle or a shot that might help you with weight loss, whatever the case may be. And all of those things work for a myriad of people, which is amazing. But you have to treat it like holistically the whole you, right?
That's if you are ready and willing to do the work.
Yeah.
If you want things to be different for yourself, right? If you want the same, then do the same.
Okay.
And if you want things to change, it takes a conscious effort, and habits matter. The way that we speak to ourselves matter. Showing up for ourselves consistently, like all of it matters, and we are capable of, because our brains, have neuroplasticity, meaning that they can change. We can rewire our brains, and which is crazy to think about. And I think that it has to come with the belief that that's possible and the understanding that that's possible first, right? And the desire to do something differently, and to know that it does. It takes a conscious choice and then work.
Intention.
And a lot of intention.
It's almost like when you believe in magic, you'll see magic.
Totally.
Same kind of thing.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
I'm so glad you're my smart friend.
Except that it is, and that it's nothing short of, that it is magic of its own.
Yeah.
And that we can build new pathways in our brain. I think of them as highways. And I think of this when it comes to riding too, and the kind of the value in practicing a skill or having anything that you are working on, just improving.
Yes. The pursuit of something, how it makes you better, and there's no cap within riding. I see the wedding industry is the same way.
Yeah.
Right? Because where I started, I just remember 18 years ago. 18 years ago. It's fine. 18 years ago is not where I am now, right? The weddings I was planning then, were primarily like yellow carnations. Amazing. So pretty.
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. And I've so fortunately grown and evolved my business into this place now where I'm really happy. I love my clients, all the things, creatively fulfilling, but I'm never done. Every time I hit a milestone, I'm like, oh, there's another one. Because I'm very wired that way from having had riding in my life, right? That's everything for me is very kind of goal oriented, and there's always steps.
And I would say for people who are of your nature, I would say that it's important for us to pause, right? Pause and breathe always, and take it in, especially when it sounds like when you're in an industry where the goalpost is constantly moving, it can be easy to get into a problematic thinking that would be, I have to keep just pushing and pushing and pushing, and I'm not enjoying my successes along the way,
or listening to my body.
And getting to where you said burnout, beyond that, dysregulation, all of that is part of it, right? And being at a point kind of where you're a mess.
Yeah.
To put it lightly. People lose the idea of that. And I think that people feel as though, especially with families and everything else, I need to take care of everybody else. I don't have time to take care of myself. Well, right, I know. And you're right, and you're taught, listen, you are great at what you do, and you have a life-altering event happen, and grief will stop you right in your tracks, and grief won't wait, and grief doesn't care, right? And our physical bodies will give out on us too. And I think that sometimes, as we talked about, people become so disconnected from their physical body that they're not paying attention to, am I even meeting my body's needs?
What's one takeaway that you love? Because for example, I went through what I've been through, losing my dad, and this journey of grief the last, 16 months. And what I came out of it with was this need to tell my story, right? So the speaking engagement I mentioned in April is within the wedding industry, but it's basically me sharing the story of surviving the last 6 years. I couldn't wait to share out loud. One, because I needed to say it out loud to acknowledge that I'd been through it. And two, I wanted other people to take a morsel or the whole thing, whatever, and be able to better themselves, do something with it. And so for me, that was a huge takeaway. I started needing to share it. So did you have that moment? And if you did you have a takeaway that was similar or all your own, or anything that was like a big deal moment for you?
Yeah, this might sound really simple. And I think that one of our biggest strengths is the strength of our no.
Oh, I love that. Yes, no is a complete sentence.
No is a complete sentence.
I love it.
No
I'm so glad you went there.
No is a complete sentence. I've learned a lot. I will say I've learned a lot, and I think that is one of the best things that I have learned, and it's that our energy is finite.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And
yes,
we want, in order to, when we are our more healed selves in this world, we are doing things that are in alignment with ourselves.
Yes.
Meaning things that resonate with us, things that are true to us, right? And the more that we say no, the more that we are able to make space for the things that are for us.
Yeah.
Right? And I encourage people, and this is a boundaries discussion. I like to talk about boundaries a lot. Boundaries are super, super important, and something that I'm constantly discussing with my clients and my friends and everything like that. The more that we're able to say no, the more that we protect our yes.
Makes so much sense.
And that our yes should be a hell yes.
Mm-hmm.
It should be a resounding hell yes, rather than like a meh.
Yeah.
And I think that if more people were in tune with themselves and paid attention to their, I'm pointing to my stomach because it is in our gut, our instincts, that we would have more joyful people around, because people would not be doing things, resentfully, right? And they'd be doing things because they wanted to more, and they would have more space for the things that they wanted to do.
100%. And I can even tie this back to the wedding industry.
Yeah.
Philippe and I just had this conversation offline before we started filming today about like learning as you're in the industry long enough when you say no to the client that isn't your client.
Totally.
Right? To allow for room for the client that is. And it, at the beginning of your career, you're like, okay, well, working is better than not working.
Right.
Right. And you don't realize that there's the right kind of work, there's the right kind of opportunity, and then there's the opposite and the not right kind.
Totally.
I feel like we fixed the world today.
Yeah, we did. And I'll say one more thing that I think is important.
Yes.
The strength of our physical body supports the strength of our mental health.
100%. 100% so important, because like our physical body is what carries all of the other stuff.
Totally.
Right. This is our
vessel.
Yes.
Our thoughts, that is how we talk to ourselves.
Yeah.
That is our food. That's the energy that we take from
Everything.
other people. And so it's everything.
Yeah.
And so I would say that those two things are so interwoven, and that they go together.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. So, it isn't like this thing that you lock and load and just stays, right? Oh, I've healed.
No.
I've processed.
No.
I'm good forever. No.
No.
And you will get, and then you will this, and you will go forward and you will go back. And it's just life, how life's, right?
Say your old life is always available to you if you want to go back to it.
Yeah, no.
And sometimes it takes a conscious decision of, no, I'm still going forward.
Yeah.
I'm still going forward. And sometimes often that's scary, because we're going into the unknown.